Neymar here with the casual one-eye symbolism. Here is Neymar with a top showing his allegiance to his God, and this is the reason why he's so rich and famous. People will say this is just a casual pose. This pose here, especially when you see it from the rich and famous who are in the mainstream, this is a reference to devil's horns. This is all occult symbolism. Here we have Lionel Messi, arguably the most famous and best football player in history, with a one eye tattooed on his arm. Again, occult symbolism in plain sight. Similar tattoo to Neymar, this time again, another eye. You really need to be looking into football and the Freemasonic links into football. Football is the world's most popular and loved sport, and I was once a lover of the sport, especially watching elite football, supporting your team and following these players. But when you really look at the symbolism, you realise that there's something wicked behind this. We see this same kind of symbolism in Hollywood, in mainstream music, videos, TV shows, movies, whatever it is. We can't just turn a blind eye when it comes to football. There's a reason this symbolism is there and so prevalent today in this world. Look at certain footballers and their celebrations following goals. You've got Rooney doing the triangle. You've got so many examples of celebrations that are just clear and unequivocally occult symbolism. Don't believe what I'm saying, just research for yourself. Look into the Freemasonic links when it comes to football and you'll realise the truth. So a little while ago, I did a video on Neymar and Messi and on their occult symbolism that is in plain sight. I had so many comments on people asking me to do Ronaldo. I had so many comments as well suggesting that I was a Ronaldo fan because I was using Messi as an example. Anyone that I use are exactly that, they're examples. There's not personal vendettas, they're just examples to show how the occult symbolism and the wickedness takes place openly. And anything that I say, don't believe it, just do your research. I just want to emphasize, do your own research and you will see the truth. But here we go then with Ronaldo. I would say the most popular, the most famous footballer of all history, Cristiano Ronaldo. We all know who he is, even if you take no interest in the sport. Here he is with a very suspect pose. Just not sure why or who poses like that. For me, that is an example there of one eye occult symbolism. Here we have him again at the launch of his perfume. Again, you're celebrating a launch of a product. Why on earth would you cover one of your eyes with it? It just doesn't make sense. It's not a common thing to do. It just doesn't take place within common society. It's, again, for me, that is absolutely one eye occult symbolism. When we look at who he is, how rich and how famous he is, there are people who say, I've certainly seen comments, people saying that he absolutely isn't a part of it. The more famous you are, the more rich you are, especially in football. He is probably the most famous, the most rich person. The higher you are in terms of your exposure and your fame and your riches, the more involved in wickedness you are. And here we go. Here is another image, him covering one of his eyes. For me, it's very clear. Here he is modelling something. I'm not quite sure what he's modelling or what brand it was for, but this is clear. He's covering one of his eyes very specifically. Again, more one eye occult symbolism. And lastly, there are more examples I could use and I've been able to find, but lastly I'll use this example. This was the poster for his film. People argue whether they've just used half of his face for creative purposes and that's just how they wanted to do it. I would argue that there's something specific and intentional that's been done here, and that is the one eye symbolism.